Hello, future biologists. Welcome to a fascinating journey into the world of microorganisms. Today, we are diving deep into the economic importance of bacteria and fungi, specifically focusing on the disorders they cause. From common infections to global health threats, we'll explore how these tiny organisms impact our lives. We'll start with the basics, then move to medium, hard, and finally, the hardest levels of understanding. Get ready to uncover the hidden world of microbial diseases. Let's kick things off with the easy level. We'll understand what disorders are and how bacteria and fungi play a role in making us sick. So, what exactly are disorders in this context? Simply put, they are diseases caused by tiny, harmful living things called microorganisms or pathogens. These include bacteria and fungi. When these pathogens enter our bodies, or the bodies of plants and animals, they mess with normal functions, leading to illness. For example, bacterial disorders are caused by single-celled bacteria. While many bacteria are good for us, some, like Salmonella typhi, can cause serious diseases like typhoid fever, leading to high fever and weakness. They multiply fast and can release harmful toxins. Moving on to fungal disorders. Fungi are a diverse group, think yeasts, molds, and mushrooms. Some can cause infections, especially on our skin, nails, or inside our mouths. A common example is ringworm, a skin infection caused by fungi, which gives you an itchy, circular rash. It's important to remember that basic hygiene is our first line of defense against both bacterial and fungal disorders. Washing hands, keeping clean and dry, and cooking food properly can prevent many of these common illnesses. Time to test your understanding. Here are 3 quick questions based on what we just learned. Think about the answers carefully. Q1. What are pathogens? Q2. Name one bacterial disorder and its causative agent. Q3. Give an example of a fungal disorder and a basic prevention method. Ready to go a bit deeper? At the medium level, we'll explore the specific ways bacteria and fungi cause diseases and look at more examples. Bacteria cause disease in several ways. They can produce toxins, which are harmful chemicals that damage our cells, like the cholera toxin causing severe dehydration. They also invade our tissues and multiply rapidly, disrupting normal body processes, as seen in tuberculosis affecting the lungs. Some bacteria are even clever enough to evade our immune system, allowing them to persist. Fungi, on the other hand, often cause disease by directly invading tissues, like the skin in athlete's foot. Some molds produce mycotoxins, which are poisons that can contaminate food and cause illness when eaten. Fungal spores can also trigger allergic reactions. Let's look at some common human bacterial disorders. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi, spread through contaminated food or water, leading to high fever. Cholera, caused by Vibrio cholerae, leads to severe watery diarrhea and dehydration. Tuberculosis, or TB, caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, spreads through airborne droplets and primarily affects the lungs. For fungal disorders, we have ringworm, which affects skin and nails, causing itchy rashes. Athlete's foot is a type of ringworm on the feet, and candidiasis, caused by Candida albicans, often affects mucous membranes like the mouth or can cause yeast infections. It's not just humans who suffer. Bacteria and fungi also cause significant disorders in plants and animals. For plants, bacterial blights and fungal rusts and smuts can destroy crops, leading to huge agricultural losses and impacting food security. In animals, diseases like anthrax in livestock or various fungal skin infections in pets can reduce productivity and even lead to death. Understanding these impacts is crucial for farmers and veterinarians alike, highlighting the broad economic importance of these microbes beyond human health. Great job so far. Now, let's tackle 5 practice questions to solidify your knowledge. Q1. Explain two ways bacteria cause disease. Q2. Describe how fungi cause superficial infections. Q3. Name two human bacterial disorders and their mode of transmission. Q4. List two common human fungal disorders. Q5. How do bacteria and fungi impact agriculture? Alright, it's time to step up to the hard level. Here, we'll analyze the differences between bacterial and fungal infections and understand their broader economic impact. Differentiating bacterial and fungal infections is key for proper treatment. Bacteria are prokaryotic, meaning they lack a true nucleus and are single-celled. Fungi are eukaryotic, having a true nucleus and can be single-celled like yeast or multicellular like molds. Bacterial infections can be rapid and affect various organs, while fungal infections are often slower, chronic, and might start on the skin or mucous membranes, though they can become systemic. Symptoms can overlap, but bacterial infections often involve specific toxins, while fungal infections might present with more localized lesions. This distinction guides medical professionals in diagnosis and treatment strategies. The economic impact of these microbial disorders is vast and affects multiple sectors. Healthcare costs are enormous, covering everything from antibiotics and antifungals to hospital stays and diagnostics. In agriculture, crop diseases caused by bacteria and fungi lead to massive yield reductions, threatening food security and farmers' livelihoods. Think about fungal blights destroying entire fields. Livestock also suffers, with diseases reducing milk, meat, or egg production, and sometimes causing animal deaths. Furthermore, the development of new drugs and managing outbreaks adds significant costs to national economies. It's a complex web of financial implications. Treatment approaches for bacterial and fungal infections are fundamentally different. Antibiotics are designed to specifically target bacterial cells, for example, by interfering with their cell wall synthesis or protein production, without harming our own cells. They are completely ineffective against fungi. Antifungals, on the other hand, target fungal-specific components, such as ergosterol, in their cell membranes. A major challenge in developing antifungals is that fungi are eukaryotes, like us, so many of their cellular targets are similar to ours, which can lead to more side effects. Both bacteria and fungi are developing resistance to these drugs, making infections harder and more expensive to treat, a critical global health concern. You're doing great. Let's test your analytical skills with these 7 hard-level questions. Q1. How do bacteria and fungi differ in their cell structure? Q2. Explain why antibiotics are ineffective against fungal infections. Q3. Describe two major economic impacts of microbial disorders. Q4. What is the main challenge in developing antifungal drugs compared to antibiotics? Q5. List 3 public health strategies to prevent bacterial and fungal disorders. Q6. How does emerging resistance in microbes impact global health? Q7. Give an example of a specific bacterial and fungal disease affecting agriculture. Are you ready for the ultimate challenge? Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll delve into the intricate molecular details, epidemiology, advanced diagnostics, and the global implications of microbial disorders. At the molecular level, pathogens poses virulence factors, specialized molecules that allow them to cause disease. For bacteria, these include adhesins for sticking to host cells, invasins for entering them, and various exotoxins like neurotoxins or enterotoxins that directly harm cells. Gram-negative bacteria have endotoxins, like LPS, in their cell walls, which trigger strong immune responses. Fungi also have virulence factors such as adhesins, enzymes that break down host tissues, and the ability to switch between different forms, like yeast and hyphae, to evade the immune system. Biofilm formation is another critical virulence factor for both, providing protection against drugs and host defenses. understanding epidemiology and transmission dynamics is vital for disease control. Bacterial transmission often occurs through direct contact, airborne droplets, contaminated food or water, or via vectors like insects. Think about how tuberculosis spreads through the air or cholera through contaminated water. Fungal transmission frequently involves inhaling spores, direct contact with infected surfaces, or opportunistic infections from fungi already present in our bodies. Environmental factors like humidity and temperature significantly influence how pathogens survive and spread. For instance, many fungi thrive in warm, moist conditions, explaining why athlete's foot is common in locker rooms. These dynamics inform public health interventions and outbreak management. Advanced diagnostic techniques are crucial for rapid and accurate identification of pathogens. Traditional culture-based methods involve growing microbes in a lab to identify the species and determine their drug sensitivity. Microscopy allows direct visualization, like gram staining for bacteria or KOH preps for fungi. However, molecular diagnostics, such as PCR, are revolutionizing the field by detecting specific microbial DNA or RNA with high sensitivity and speed. DNA sequencing offers even more detailed identification and can detect resistance genes. Serology, which involves detecting host antibodies or microbial antigens, provides insights into past or current infections. These tools are indispensable for effective treatment and preventing outbreaks. Drug development faces immense challenges, particularly with the rise of resistance. For antifungals, the problem is compounded because fungi are eukaryotes, sharing many cellular processes with humans, making it hard to find targets that harm fungi without harming us. Microbes often form biofilms, which are communities encased in a protective matrix, making them highly resistant to drugs. Bacteria develop resistance through mechanisms like efflux pumps, which pump out drugs, or enzymes that inactivate drugs. Fungi also employ similar strategies. The One Health concept emphasizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. Many pathogens are zoonotic, meaning they transmit between animals and humans. Environmental reservoirs also play a huge role, and resistance can spread across these sectors, making it a truly global challenge exacerbated by factors like climate change. You've absorbed a lot of complex information. Let's test your comprehensive understanding with the first 5 hardest level questions. Q1. Explain what virulence factors are and give 2 examples for bacteria. Q2. Describe 2 primary modes of transmission for fungal diseases. Q3. How does biofilm formation contribute to microbial drug resistance? Q4. Compare and contrast 2 advanced diagnostic techniques for microbial infections. Q5. Why is developing antifungal drugs particularly challenging compared to antibiotics? Keep pushing your limits with the remaining 5 hardest level questions. Q6. Elaborate on the One Health concept in the context of bacterial and fungal disorders. Q7. Discuss how environmental factors influence the epidemiology of microbial diseases. Q8. Explain 3 distinct molecular mechanisms by which bacteria develop antibiotic resistance. Q9. How do mycotoxins differ from bacterial exotoxins in terms of production and impact? Q10. Propose a multi-pronged strategy to combat the global threat of antimicrobial resistance, integrating different sectors. And that concludes our deep dive into the disorders caused by bacteria and fungi. We've covered everything from basic definitions to advanced molecular mechanisms and global health implications. If you found this journey insightful and want to explore more such fascinating topics, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in for a wealth of educational content. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting biology lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep questioning the world around you.